Namaste. In this video, I want to help you understand three things. First, the difference between Deva and Rakshasa nature in human behavior. You can call it the evil nature and goodness nature. Second thing that you're going to learn is the war nature, rules and principles and motives of war, of three different civilizations when it comes to war. The Dharmic principles, the Confucius war principles, and the ruthless, non-Dharmic, barbaric war nature of the Western civilization. Big difference. And the third thing we're going to talk about is why, when the West is in trouble, they call it the World War, while trouble in other parts of the world is usually labeled regional conflicts. This is not a political discussion. This is a Dharmic view, a way to stay clear when the world feels confusing. Right now, many people are anxious. The news is loud. Emotions are high. Everyone is reacting. And when everyone is reacting, clarity disappears. So instead of reacting, let's step back and look at patterns, because Vedic wisdom is about patterns. To understand this from the Vedic lens, we need to understand human tendencies. In Vedic astrology, there is something called Gana, G-A-N-A. It tells us that not all people are same. These are three different distinct human temperaments. The first one is Deva, divine natured people. The second one is Manusya, human natured people. And yes, Rakshasa, demonic natured people. In astrology, they are based on the moon's position at birth. These are not just people or tribe, but tendencies. In the epics and Vedas, we hear about the Devas and Rakshasas or Asuras. But this is not about race. This is not about those people and these people. These are states of consciousness. You see, the Deva nature is restraint. It is the ability to hold power without being intoxicated by it. The Deva nature protects life. It seeks balance. It thinks long term. It asks what reduces suffering. The human nature, or Manusya nature, is often swayed, indecisive. It can choose the Deva nature or the Rakshasa nature. They can be manipulated by Devas or the Rakshasas. The human nature has free will. But Rakshasa nature is different. It is driven by domination. It thrives on fear. It uses power without responsibility. It wants control of both action and the narrative. And here's the point. All of these tendencies exist in every human being. The question is not who is Deva or who is Rakshasa. The question is, which tendency is being rewarded in our world right now? Why chaos feels amplified when conflict gets more attention than peace? I mean, just a couple of weeks ago, the monks walked all the way to Washington to bring awareness to peace, but never got attention that it needed. But we have a tyrant who gets attention every minute of every day. And that's because the Rakshasa nature is being rewarded in the world right now instead of peace. And that tells us something. It tells us that our systems reward violence more than peace. And that is a sign of imbalance. Because Dharma grows in clarity and restraint, not in noise. That brings me to a topic of war, the ethics and rules of war in different civilizations. They are not the same. I can think of 3 civilizations and how the art of war is way different. We can say it's the collective qualities in these 3 civilizations that determines the meaning of war. War can be sattvic for the good of all. It can be rajasic, defensive, and it can be tamasic in nature, brutal, with no laws. First, we'll talk about Dharmic war, or what we call Dharma Yuddha. The Vedic tradition never glorified war. War was always described as the very last resort. The very last resort. And when it happened, it was bound to be under a strict ethical rules called Dharma Yuddha. The idea was simple. Even in conflict, you do not lose your humanity. Rule number 1. Some of the Dharmic war principles described in the scriptures are: do not attack the unarmed. Protect non-combatants. Honor surrender from the opponent. Avoid deceitful methods like attacking at night, attacking schools and institutions. Limit destruction. Preserve life where possible. The purpose was not victory at any cost. The Dharmic war purpose was the preservation of Dharma. This is the Dharmic war nature. The other type of war is the Confucius teaching of war. After all, the art of war was written by General Sun Tzu. Confucius' war rooted in the concept of just war. And it prioritizes moral legitimacy, targeting only tyrannical rulers in order to restore order while protecting the citizens. It demands righteousness, benevolence, and strict following of virtue over deceptive tactic. And the aim was to end violence through moral force without shedding blood or total destruction. This is also a type of Dharmic war. And then there is the Western model of war. Ruthless and pretty much no rules, where deception and misinformation is the rule, where religious emotions are used, chemical weapons, germs, technology, even weapons of mass destruction are allowed. But they have a framework in place. Well, a concept of a framework, like the Geneva Convention or international humanitarian law, just as a show of refinement, just for show, so they can argue later that they are civilized. Again, not perfect in practice. So, across time, different systems have tried to place ethical boundaries on power and war. But the real question is not whether these rules exist. The real question is whether they are being followed. Now, let's talk about how language and words and labels are used in the world of war. Something we are starting to hear now as the West gets into trouble. The use of words like World War III. Talking about world wars, have you noticed that when the Western civilization is in trouble, they label it a world war? And when there are problems in other parts of the world, they call it regional conflicts, not world war. And if you're a thinking person, that itself should define the motives and arrogance of the West. There is no World War III. And please don't call it World War III, because it's not. What it is the Western war. The words we use shape our perception. When we label events, we also shape fear. So we must be careful not to amplify panic through careless language, manipulative. Dharma requires precision in speech. Speak clearly. Speak responsibly. Do not use language that increases confusion or emotional escalation. Because once the mind is agitated, discernment disappears. Astrology says there is going to be a huge conflict during this time. So much so that the Western world and the Middle East will change forever. Especially this year, 2026. The changes will be unrecognizable, uncomfortable, and will last until 2030s. As this Western conflict, the Western war, is elevating, code red level. What is our Dharma now? Most people cannot influence global events, but everyone can protect their mind, refuse to dehumanize, support peace where they can see it, help people locally, speak with responsibility. This is Deva nature. And it's not weak, it's strength. It's steady, because steadiness reduces suffering. A simple practice today is to observe your reactions. When you read the news, does your mind become angry, fearful, hopeless? Pause for a moment. Pause for a minute. Take one breath. And return to clarity. This is Dharma in action. You see, the world will continue to move through cycles, but Dharma survives through individuals who remain clear, compassionate, and responsible. Do not let chaos take away your humanity. Do not let the noise take away your discernment. Act with restraint. Speak with care. And serve where you can. That is the true practice of Dharma in uncertain times. Namaste.